beautiful, beautiful selves. Oh, welcome, ladies. I'm so excited to have you both on today just to talk about to chat. Let's talk about relationships, connection. Let's talk about sisterhood. Let's talk about uplifting one another, right? All of the beautiful things that it is that we do. Let's talk about the beautiful new things that we have going on, and the projects that we have. And but first, before we do that, for those that may not know you, I'm going to let you each introduce yourself and tell the world a little bit about yourself and what it is that you do and what is your biggest passion in life. We're just going to go straight in for the good stuff this morning. Dr. Constance, you go first, and then we'll start with Dr. New.
Well, welcome. Thank you so much for having me. I love dressing up, and I felt good that I'm not the only one who dressed up.
I love it.
I love your glamour, your glitz, and everything. So thanks for having us here. My dear sister over there is so beautiful. Look at her,
I
sister,
know.
light in the face. I know. I keep telling her light in the face right here. So my name is Dr. Constance Leland. Yes, I am a full-time professor. I don't dress up when I do teach. Okay, and yeah, because my student will be like, "Who's this?" I love that you said multi-passionate because I think for most of us we are. But one thing that I'm very passionate about, which is my mission, is to level up the world through education. And I found out through my journey that education is not just formal, like you go to universities, but education of life, right? And collaboration over competition is where I got my YouTube to literally go to like 41,000% subscribers, almost at 60,000. So if you're not subscribed, please do plug in right there. But what I do is I am a publicity hub. What that means is that anytime that you need anything, from TV shows to live stream to radio to podcast, I'm on 25 distribution channels, about 100 nations and countries now, 30 plus countries on the radio show, hip hop and R&B 105 radio. And I'm also top 10% podcasters in the world globally through Listen Notes. I am number 29 out of 100 for education's podcasts as well. And been on a lot of magazines. Actually, I did a boo-boo thing. When I did my press release room, I got rejected. And I'm like, no way. That is redirection. So I did it again and I got approved. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to be in one magazine in UK and one in US. Little did I find out that it's on 700 syndicated wires. I'm like,
Love it.
okay, now I can really elevate people. So that's what I do. And I also do publishing, which you were in our book, right?
Yes. Yes.
Because I want to leave legacies for people. And if you're not collaborating, you're missing out.
Absolutely. I love it. I love all of it. It's so amazing. What a beautiful surprise that was too, right? Been like, what? 700? Like,
Me
what?
too. I'm like, what happened? I
Yes,
was
it's amazing.
surprised too. I was like, what happened? That was not my intention.
But I love it. And I love that you said the redirection there too, right? Because I'm a firm believer that what if you're seeking something and it's not happening out here, right? Create it. Whatever it is that you want, create it, right? Or find find a different route. And so I really love that. Dr. New, you are always, always beaming, but you are just simply radiating this morning. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you so much, sisters Jen and CJ here. Thank you for, happy Tuesday, right? It's Tuesday, right? I'm trying to think.
Tuesday.
And thank you for inviting and having both of us come join you on this wonderful summit. And thank you for those who are watching us live. Thank you for those who are watching the replay. It's a blessing, and I'm grateful and honored to be here with you all. And for those who don't know me, a little bit about me is, you know, I'm really here to spread more love and kindness and empathy and compassion and being mindful of who we are, our values, and our purpose here in this earth, right? Because it's very short lived, and the blessing that we have in our community. So that way we can be authentically who we are. So that way we can shine so bright, even though I feel like I'm missing some of the glitter and glass, like, with these wonderful sister up here.
Not at all.
But it's okay to just be who we are, right? and you still can be, because of being authentic, being true, with a heart to serve. If I think if we have a heart to serve for our communities, that's what's the essence. And for me, helping the entrepreneurship, helping all the people who are burned out from a healthcare, from a professional, uh, really tapping out and saying, I have enough. But really, we want you to really reignite your purpose, because we need you more than ever, right? We need those heart center, that passionate to care for your patient, for your community. Because, I'm always stuck on that patient, because patient is a community. Who are we taking care of? Who are we blessed to be honored to serve, right? To be able to help them through that most challenging time. And that's what it's about, because we are better together, right? And so that is really an essence of who I am. And I truly believe in, not only treating a patient not by an ill for, a pill for an ill, right? Treating as a holistic approach, mind, body, and soul, and spiritual. You have to look into that and have to get to know one another, whether we talk about a patient, whether we talk about leadership, whatever it is. If we are really looking at the source, meaning we're looking at the true underneath of it, not just slapping a band-aid, right, for whatever on the surface that are projecting out. And that is really, we're all meant for greatness. And that I want to remind everyone, with Jen here and CJ, if anything that doesn't resonate with you, that if you think it's impossible, take the word I am possible, right? And I am possible. So that is something that I want to really transform the thoughts, because whatever our thoughts that come into our mind is also going to create our reality. So, and our health, we got to also be mindful on how we treating ourselves, how we're projecting out. Right, Jen and CJ? As I
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was just fixing to still a hydration break really fast, because it is so important. And it doesn't, you know, I love that it can be relaxed, and we can take a drink, right? Because we're thirsty. I see Dr. C had her lovely, cute little, Hello Kitty cup. And I just love it. For all of you that, yes, and it's all back around, and you can see that Dr. CJ's over here in the comments doing what it is that she does, publicity. She's sharing, she's calling people in, right? And Dr. New is showing you exactly why she got this beautiful surprise award for being LinkedIn's nicest woman on LinkedIn. Is that right? Is that what it was? And you can see why. And I said in the comments, and I mean it, is an understatement. I do not know how and I mean I do but at the same time I don't, because I'm a little bit everywhere too. But it's so, I love seeing you guys everywhere, because it's like, oh, how are they doing that? How are they everywhere that you go, and every room that you step in, there they are, and they're known, right? And they're just all over. And I love that, because that's my world too. And I'm not a fairy, I'm a unicorn, right? But I can be like a fairy sometimes, that you just come in, you sprinkle a little fairy dust, and then you go back out, and then you go into another room and you do that, right? But wonderful, wonderful women you are, wonderful work that it is that you're doing. And so I do love that. So how long have you all actually known each other here on LinkedIn? And did you know each other? Did you meet through LinkedIn? Did you meet another way? Right? Tell me a little bit about how your friendship started, and how it's grown, and just the beauty of being able to come in and collaborate with one another in all of the different spaces that we do. And then here in a little bit, we'll talk about our experience together with Beyond Boundaries. And I have actually little excerpts from both of yours that I'm going to read aloud. So yeah,
Oh,
you got
awesome.
both covers, right?
Yeah, because this one is a new one, and
Yeah,
we're officially at Barnes and Nobles, guys. We're officially at Barnes and Nobles.
I
So I'm
know.
working on Powell's. I'm working hard to get the anthology. This is the first anthology that I know that actually is in major distribution
Mhm.
channels, not Amazon. Like everyone's like, oh, I want to be a whatever in Amazon. I'm like, okay, it's great. It's a great platform.
Yeah,
Amazon, I'm not knocking it. It's a great
no,
platform.
right.
Yeah, it's everywhere. But it's limited when you're outside of the United States. And if
Yes.
you have author in the international arena, like Ulu and Ollie, right?
Yes.
It's hard for them, right? So I'm like, okay, how can I make it happen? I'm not a rich person, but I have enough to do it. So I did it.
Yeah.
And there it is. And again, it wasn't easy, quite honestly. There's a lot of research behind it, but
Yes.
it's possible. Oh
It
my
is
gosh. And we are
possible.
going to be doing meetings, so I cannot wait. So let me go back to your questions. I have ADHD, so I'm going to go all
No,
over
it's
the
good. Me too. Words all over the place, and it's good.
place. Reel me in, reel me in. So Dr. New actually, I think we definitely, she messaged me. I think it was a DM on LinkedIn. We haven't known each other that long. How long have you known each other? Just this year, maybe? A
Oh,
little bit of
last year.
last year? Yeah, a
Last
little bit of last year, but this
we
year
were.
we really
I was able
bonded.
to attend. Not only was got invited for her the global. I mean the summit. Remember, sis?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The summit in October, because I do
Yeah.
big summits
So
and
we
things
knew
like
each other before then. So that if this year will be a year, but yes, last year is when we met on this wonderful platform, LinkedIn.
yeah, and what she does is literally how you get people is to volunteer to help, right? That's why I said collaboration is everything, because I'm too busy to whatever corral everybody. So when you're in my peripheral and you're like, hey CJ, do you need help? Hey CJ, I'm like, yes, let's do
Yes.
this, right?
Yes.
When you're in that peripheral within the 5 mile radius that I have
Yeah.
over here in the circle, then you get in. But one thing that I love about our friendship is it's not a needy friendship, right?
Right.
There's some friendships I have, like if I don't check in, they have an attitude. I'm like, bro, I have no time for that.
Right.
Like, right? It's just collaboration over competition, but at the same time, building your own. She's building her own thing. I'm building my own thing, but we collaborate where we meet. And
Right.
that's what I love about collaboration, right? And she's literally amazing because she's like, are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm losing my mind. She's like, okay. And then she start laughing. I'm like, please tell me right now, keep my brain straight because I'm losing it, right? And then I talked to Susanna and I talked to Danielle. They have different purpose in my life because friendship means different things with different people. But
Absolutely.
she's my calm when when I'm like out of my world. I'm like, sis, texting her. I'm like, are you putting the kids to sleep? Because she's 2 hours ahead.
Yes.
And she's also up late, like around 1 a.m. I'm still up. And sometimes I see her, I'm like, go to bed, go to bed.
Right. Just like yell, and you're not just checking on each other, and it can be just that simple little thing. You need to sleep.
Yeah,
You
go to
know,
bed.
what are you doing up? And I love that. Um, what about you, Dr. New, to add to the friendship that you have? And
Yeah, and I think with the friendship how we beautifully started. I remember not sure what it was that really initiate, but really I totally agree because whatever message that CJ sent out, I was like, yes, because I believe in we're really better together, but really how we can make a better positive impact, right? How can we bring people together? But also when she said, regardless of our colors, our religion, our industry, right? And experiences that we have, I was
yes.
like, that is what the essence of what I want to bring people together. That's what humanity is about.
Yeah.
And that using a platform like LinkedIn, you can either embrace it and get to know one another and let's collaborate because there's no competition. Even if there's another new out there that are doing the same thing, I'm sure her experience will be different. Same thing with CJ and Jen.
Right.
Their walks of life will be different and how we show up will be different. It's
Absolutely.
not going to be exactly the same. So that's where we can truly bring down the guard, bring down all the the little mask that we want to put on. Let's just remove that and just be us, be authentic to who we are from the get-go. I believe that CJ will probably just say the same. I'm the same way. I have not changed, and I will not change it who I am. That's the essence. I haven't. That's because I think we have to gotten to remove that, because why do you need to be afraid of what people judge, right? And I think, if we talk about being envy and jealousy, then look, I'm not glamorous like CJ, I'm not glamorous like Jen, but I still can be in a part of community that we can showcase each other, right? We can say, look what CJ and Jen is doing. We all can build the empire, but you can be in a community of different empire together, right? You don't have to be in a solo and saying, I dominate and I don't want you in it. No, we're better together. Not only you can build and have lots of people with us, right? And that's what truly the blessing of really, I get to not only get so many amazing souls. I have their cell phone. I talk, we chat, we Zoom, we FaceTime, whatever it is a call or a text away. But you have to really get to know your sister, your brotherhood, whoever, if you're a male out there, the same way.
Yes.
That's what truly are. But you have to be mindful of how will you showing up, right? If you don't know who you are and you're trying to find the identity and trying to be mirror like Jen and like CJ, I can't be like them. I can only be like myself.
Yes. I love that. And I love what you said too, Dr. CJ, about, in the peripheral, and friendship in my life is like that. And I know that it's like that in business, where you kind of come in and you come out. Like there's times that you might be in the center of that circle and you're really working together on something like we all did with the book. And then there's the time where someone needs to be a little bit more somewhere else, and that gets to be okay, because there's still that point of connection, and there's still that point of, hey, I see you. And if something really goes on, to be able to reach out and say, hey, I see you, I hear you, I'm loving you, I'm sending you encouragement, I'm sending you, whatever it is. But it's so important to remember that there are always those places of connection, and being able to, not be expected to have to be in one place all the time, right? Where you do have that freedom to kind of come in and out. And I think that that's truly true friendship. That's true collaboration, because we can help and support one another, but we can't be codependent with one another, right? Where we absolutely have to have that presence. We still, we have to be able to be flowing. And so I do love that. We've talked about it a lot, so I'm just going with it. Let's talk about the book, right? Let's talk about the anthology, and then of course you can tell us about the new project that it is that you have, because I'm really excited. Even though this time I can't be, I'm not being a part of it per se, but I'm super excited about it, and look forward to future. And I don't know. I'm really thinking, it's not that I don't want to be. And I've been thinking all morning about how can I make this happen. So I may just jump on over into the new project, right? But this one is Beyond Boundaries, Thriving in Life's Gray Zone. And for those of you that may not have been to other days of the summit, this is a beautiful anthology. There are 27 authors total. And this anthology is really about navigating challenges, but being able to find and create your own success through those challenges and grow, not just even necessarily after, but through them, right? To really not just survive and not just live in a gray zone, but to thrive in that gray zone. And so we each have little chapters, and I have an excerpt from each that I want to share as little teasers, because yes, I want you to go find this book. I want you to go to Barnes and Noble and pre-order, right? Because when you go to Barnes and Noble and pre-order right now, what you're supporting happening is a book signing inside of Barnes and Nobles with several of the authors that are here in this book with Dr. Leyland and with Dr. New for sure, right? Two that will absolutely 100% be there. So how freaking wonderful and exciting is that? That is so exciting. And you know what? I happen to have a lot of these laying around. So if you just throw in the chat book, right? You could even do that. Maybe I could even send you one and you can just take it and you can go and get their autographs, right? But the thing about doing it for Barnes and Nobles is that it does support us actually being able to also get into other Barnes and Nobles, right? Because they live over on the West Coast. Well, Dr. New doesn't. She lives about 10 hours away from me in the southern part of the same state. But of course, we're talking about Texas because it's its own freaking country. And so is California, right? Where you're at, CJ. So I can't personally make it there, but I would love to make it happen here at one of my local, and that would look like Mike, right? Because he's from the South. He's not too far away in Louisiana, and we can have a whole little Southern signing too, right? So that's what right now you're supporting if you go to Barnes and Nobles and do a pre-order. So I really want you all to do that. But if you're absolutely unable and you really want a copy of the book, drop a comment. I got you. Okay. Go ahead.
I wanted to also add that when you purchase this book, you're actually helping farmers in Madagascar because we're trying to plant trees. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm like, guys, I want to be a farmer in Madagascar. Please help our farmers, right?
Yes.
I want to do a 360 project where we're not only helping others and leave legacies, but we're also helping others feed their families.
Yes. And I love that it's not even just about, it's not that it is a 360 even in that sense, that it's not just that we're helping the trees being planted, but by doing that, we are helping support the farmers and their families with sustainable income that they're able to support themselves with and put some dinner on the table with their food. They can eat like, some of our youngers, they might say she ate. We want them to be able to say that they ate because we helped them do that. So I do love that, Dr. Leyland. It's so beautiful. It's part of the reason that there's a lot of other places to be able to go and be in anthologies, but this is more.
No other place like Level Up.
No,
I can
there
tell
is
you
no
that.
other place. And
no, we have built-in marketing, TV, radio.
Yes.
I mean,
all of the things. Plus the supporting. There's nothing else like it. So that being said, I'm going to jump in, and I want to. I have Dr. News, like my thumb was in it, so I'm going to start there. Have you ever found yourself grappling with life's greatest questions? Every obstacle, from youthful curiosity to battles against ingrained societal prejudices and through the echoes of personal loss, has relentlessly tested the very foundation of my resilience. From a tender age, a persistent whisper has haunted my thoughts. What is life truly for? Surely our journey cannot merely be confined to the monotonous rhythm of birth and toil, kinship, decay, and ultimately the shroud of death. Such a stark cycle belies the profound richness that this ephemeral life teases, a seeming mockery of our treasured consciousness. Woo! Girl, really, sis, that is so powerful. And I'm telling you all, that's the first paragraph. The first paragraph of this remarkable woman's chapter. That was only 3 sentences. Beautiful. Beautiful. And that's just a little bit of what you can expect in her chapter. So how does it feel like when I read that out loud, right? How does it feel? And I know it's not even the first time that you've heard it out loud, but we're in a different place every moment. How did it feel this time to hear that and to know that you wrote that and to know that it's published and to know that you're an international best-selling co-author, right?
when you talk about amazing, it's not probably the underscore. It's you know, when people think, is it even possible? That's why I'm coming back. It's like the world, your world will change when you open your mind and open your perspective and your world, your community, like surround yourself, that you can do anything that you want and dreams of, literally will open the door for you. But you have to be willing. And that when you read it, it's just kind of like a display of my life. And I'm thinking, okay, but what would that do for others is what also I see my life flashing back and coming through. But also it's for us to leave that message, is also to create curiosity for those who are in that journey and wanting to go over, right? Going beyond boundaries, what it looks like. And I think is perspective shift. Once your perspective shift change, your lives will change. And I will always stay here and stand and saying that it will change. Your world will change because everything starts within us. And I know Jen and CJ will say second that, because you know life will happen to us. But what is the purpose of life? Do we ever question that? I'm sure lots of us does, right?
Yeah.
Why does this happen? What is the meaning of that? And so it's so coming from another person, it's also saying we share a collectiveness, right? We share the same, the walk of journey might look different, but we're all the same on this different pathway, that it might be narrow, a little curvy, right? It might be different ways, but the pathway to move that, it's it's beautiful when we kind of be mindful in the present and kind of now reflecting back and writing the story of it. But it's so it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Hmm. You're the blessing. Oh my gosh, you are. You are.
Oh,
You are. I mean it. And Susanna, you know, you're out there today, but you're such a big part of this. And I know that we want to bring you into the conversation. Even you're in the conversation, right? And I thank you for being here. But let's really talk about Susanna for just a second, because she's an amazing soul, and that this really wouldn't be possible in the way that it is, in the way that it has been without her. And that leads us into this next set of projects, right? The new anthology. So CJ, tell us a little bit about that, and then I'll do your little teaser for yourself.
Yeah, so if you are already an author, we are halfway through actually, but you have until, so technically, if you still want to be in this new anthology called Moving Beyond Boxes, the journey to self-discovery, it's like a prequel to Thriving in Boundaries, right? Think of like Tarantino when he goes give you chaos and then he gets you back to where you're supposed to be. That's literally what we're doing with this book, right? You're like, I don't understand what's happening. And now you understand. It's literally about us having labels, right? People label us no matter what. And we actually buy into it. We do. All of us do.
Oh yeah,
Female,
absolutely.
Asian, short, whatever, right? Doctor this, whatever, not doctor this, right? Or I'm only this. You're not only this, you are this, right?
Right.
So moving beyond boxes is a self-discovery about yourself, because you cannot help others if you don't recognize self-awareness is the key, so that you can ignite your passion to get out of that boxes. Are we ever going to be getting out of these boxes based on society? Probably not. But I'm going to give you this: perception becomes your reality. But if you add perspective with perception, then you become whole. And to become whole, you need to move that beyond boxes. You can't move any boxes or beyond it without those two formula. And that's what we're trying to do with this. It's like, how do you discover yourself? You're never going to be discovered 100% of yourself.
No.
It's a journey till the end of your life. You might not even discover your full potential, right? Even when you exit. But knowing that you're enjoying your journey, discovering little things that you could do. People all my life told me, you're not good enough. You're short. You're Asian. You can't be in journalism. You can't do this. Everyone tells me that. Everyone. I'm only 5 feet tall, but I'm very loud. Susanna will tell you. I don't care if I'm in the airport. I'm like, Susanna, and everyone's looking at me.
Yes.
Do I care? No, I don't give a care. Now you know who Susanna is because I'm loud and I'm proud. Like I can't even, right? That's just who I am.
Yes.
Because I love elevating others. And this one is elevating yourself, not other people, by being aware of what your weaknesses are and outsource your weaknesses to other people so you can keep that weaknesses into a strength, finding that opportunity so you don't become a threat to your own self. So that's what moving beyond boxes is. But literally you have until the 25th to join us. I'm just saying, you know. And if you're a previous author, you do get $100 discount, which I love. But right, I love it. And you just have to talk to Susanna because she is the leader of Moving Beyond Boxes. We do anthologies every single quarter. And I'm still thinking about my next one, actually.
Yeah.
But I want to have a book club membership because I realize that not everyone is ready to be an author, right? Yes. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you a membership where you can afford it each month. After 10 months of becoming a member of a book club, you can be in our anthology for free.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I think that's
and I'm going to teach you a class
right.
on how to do your content, how to use Canva, how to use ChatGPT. We have a 4.0 now that I'm doing comparative analysis in. Yes. I'm going to teach you everything that you need to level yourself up. But this anthology, boom. I love moving beyond boxes.
I know. I'm so excited. And I was, I'm remembering now. I was going to get an image of the, the imagery that for this particular book because I love it. It's amazing.
I see your butterfly. Oh my
God. Then yes, I did. I wore butterflies today in honor of and thinking about and in support.
Oh, you can't see it. Yeah.
I can't see yours up there. But because and they see, and I have a ton of butterflies.
Susanna gave me that. She mailed it literally.
Oh, she mailed it literally. I want a butterfly. I don't have any. I don't have any at all. That's what I'm just kidding. I have them everywhere because I love them too. But I don't have a Susanna butterfly. You know what, Susanna? Let's exchange. You send me one and I will send you one of mine. Let's do that. Like, right? How fun would that be? And I will send you Dr. New and CJ, send me your address. I'll even send you the ones I'm wearing today to honor the.
I want the blue one then because I think that colorful. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll put it in here.
Okay, we'll do it.
Like this one's from Jenny. Like,
so Jen, next time when we get the props, we have to all wear it with Jen. The butterfly,
that's
right? There you go.
I have to buy Dr. New a wig, or maybe I'll send her some.
Yes! Oh my god!
Blonde.
I want to actually, when I come back on my weekly show for Glitter and Gab, because it's been on a little 2-week hiatus, and I've been behind the scenes doing some really exciting things. When I come back, Glitter and Gab is now a, let's say, a kind of a little bit of a variety show. I want you to think SNL. I want you to think The Office, where each person or guest that come on each day, we're going to play a little game excerpt and we're going to make fun of, but also talk about and really support and just laugh at ourselves for the things that we experience in our business, in our lives, in entrepreneurism. But I also want to be able to bring it into a space where, it's kind of in the middle of the day, right? For me, it is. I go at 1:00 Central Time on Thursdays. So it's just kind of a little bit of a breather and a break. Laughter really is such this beautiful energy to be in and experience. And it's a wonderful, beautiful medicine. And I want to bring that in. So just a little sneak peek of what's been going on in the back. So that means that I will be having you both back on soon, and we will do something totally 100%. Yes, do something really great and fun. And
I'm sending a wig to Dr. New. I'm sending a
yes, I'll send it. We can be. That would be so fun. And Susanna has to join us next time, so we could be. We
never end the show though. That I'm just telling you.
Like, yeah, right. We just go on forever and ever. I want to be quadruplets. because I already got the twin thing down. So let's be quadruplets. That would be so much fun.
Yeah, and Jen, I want to add, there's no collaboration anthology that after you get published and your books is out, that is ongoing throughout the year, right?
Yes.
Like Level Up, meaning not only on the radio show, on the TV show. On her YouTube is about 60,000 only. It's not that many, but look, the
100,000
view.
is my goal.
But what I'm saying is it's huge. But
Yes.
and her download, I think also on her TV is like millions.
Yeah.
Worldwide. When you talk about making that impact, you want your message out. And we want to bridge a gap on those who can't afford. They can join us and still level up and learn through the Level Up Academy, right? And I think that is truly, really meet people where they are.
Yeah, and I do love that, and I think that it's incredibly beautiful that you do get to have a space where you can come, where you can learn, where you can grow, and ultimately, I love having a space where you can come in and do that together. So I want to share an excerpt from yours now, CJ, because we've talked about it a lot, and it's something that's a lot of people are finding out about themselves. It's something that a lot of people are definitely talking about, and that's having ADHD being in part as part of your life and as part of a superpower, and being able how to use it as a superpower. So your chapter is absolutely brilliant in the way that you talk about it and the way that it's laid out. And I'm telling you right now, if you have ADHD and you just need, just even for that, you need this book just to be able to look at CJ's chapter about living with it, her experience with it, because it's really something that's beautifully put together. I have ADHD, right? And have got diagnosed with that very, very young. But it was something also that I didn't remember, like I didn't know that about myself, and until pretty recently, that it's like, and I'm talking to my mom about it, and I'm like, were there ever any, like, hey, the kids might have ADHD or anything like that? And my mom's like, oh yeah, you guys were diagnosed before you were ever in school. And I'm like, oh, okay, well,
Thanks for telling me.
nice. It's really nice to, but it is powerful to find out. And then right now in my own personal journey, it's really great to read about and have people share their experiences and their stories, because I'm like, oh my God, yes, like that has been my whole entire life. And just to be able to really have that area of support and connection. So it's really beautiful. And I want to just start with this one particular paragraph, and this is the third paragraph of CJ's chapter. Though a crucible of creativity, the vibrant chaos of her mind often left her adrift in a sea of misunderstanding. In school, where conformity was the unspoken currency of acceptance, Jipping's differences became her albatross. Her thoughts raced ahead in classrooms, leaping from idea to idea, while her peers moved in a lockstep that felt foreign to her. Her attempts to communicate with her whirlwind of thoughts often tangled in her tongue, making her words misunderstood or mocked. Wow, right? Wow. Tell me.
Yeah, I just sometimes when I'm writing a book, I get so emotional, because especially if it's about myself. And I think that's the hardest part for me. Like, it took me a while not to write in academic form, because I've done journals and have written papers like I don't know how many thousands, millions of words. So when I write about somebody else's life, it's so easy. Right?
Yes.
I can do press release while I'm sleeping. when I'm writing about my chapter, it takes me a while to get there. It's because it's so emotional and I'm a very sensitive person. So
Yes.
writing about my childhood memory when I was in the Philippines, you know that it's hurtful because it seems like it was just yesterday that I'm feeling that. Like I was so excited. I was telling my daughter when she was reading that, she's like, Mom, tell me about that. I said, I was so excited about the colors and I can make this and this. And I had this huge plan.
Yeah.
And then it was just a ball
Yeah.
with no labels. And everyone was just laughing, like, are you dumb? Like like literally. Right. I'm
Yes.
like, how am I dumb? Maybe I am dumb. I don't know. Right.
Yeah.
And that little girl is there. And all this time, they always tried to dim my light, always. Right.
Mhm.
But because I grew up with no parents, I'm
She froze.
because I
Oh,
was
there
so
you are. You were frozen
okay,
like a beautiful goddess.
I was so skinny and I still fight the boys. I would come home with black eyes when I was young because they would call
Mhm.
me mean names, like literally mean names. And now, if you think about it, if you have a child that's going through differences that they're called something else, I'm hoping that my story can inspire people that don't give up on your children.
Yeah.
Right? They're different. Doesn't mean they're not going to become somebody else in the future. And that's why my chapter is dedicated to neurodivergent,
Yeah.
right? Because I put in here the misunderstood potential because
Mhm.
we are so boxed in. This is why moving beyond boxes is really good. As parent, we're like, no, you need to be like Johnny. Johnny is this.
Mm.
Oh, no, you need to be this. And your teacher said you're this. Why are you helping other people mold your child? Right? You're
Right.
supposed to be the parent, mold your child. And why are you helping yourself mold by other people? Mold yourself. Look
Yeah.
at yourself in the mirror and see what your potentials are. And that's what I really want to do this. And that's why I put literally in bold letters, harnessing the ADHD advantage. I'm not saying that there's no disadvantages. The list is this long for ADHD,
Yes.
really, right? It's so much. And then harnessing it is what I want to give you because you already know your problems. I don't need to tell you your problems. You have it. You memorized it. What
Yes.
you need is a solution, not
Yeah.
a problem. And
Right.
that's what I'm giving you is a solution that works for me and works for other people. I'm also a coach practitioner for cognitive behavior therapy. I'm actually I have a license for that. But I don't practice it to a lot of people because I'm selfish. I'm practicing it to myself.
Yeah.
Okay. So I can help you people.
Yes. I think it's okay, and I don't think it's selfish at all. I
Mm,
really don't. I think it, and I say this a lot, right? It's not being it's, when we do things for ourselves. It's not being self-centered. It's being centered in self, right?
yeah.
And I love that you do, or that you have that, and that you have that knowledge, and that you use it for yourself. And whether you teach or share it, quote unquote, or not, you are, because the ripple effect from you understanding and you being able to practice that for yourself, and you being able to be at your most magical in your neurodivergency, and understanding that is a beautiful thing. And it is so very important, and we need to, absolutely, we could go off on a whole other, like, 10
Tangent.
hour, easily a 10-hour thing of parenting and recognizing whether your child is or not. I can remember, um, being really celebrated, really, in my family, because I could read by the time I was 3. I would pull the other, like, cousins and stuff, and I would be reading to them. And at first, it was, wasn't reading. I had it memorized because I had a photographic memory and I had photographic recall, that I don't have now, but I did. And so then they had to, when I was 2, right? They were like, holy crap. And then they realized, okay, well, I just was memorized. I had it memorized. But then by the time I was 3, I really was. And my mom, was stay at home, and she worked with us a lot. And so I knew ABCs and 1, 2, 3s and all those kinds of things. I could dress myself fully by 2. I was cooking meals by 6, like all of these things. And then also I remember being pulled out and put into different classes and different classrooms because I couldn't communicate in the way that was expected. right? Or I could have
Mhm.
the answer, but not show how I got it or be able to
Yep.
explain how I got it, which is something that I even experience, today. Part of the reason that I created, avant-garde branding and multidimensional niche integration is this idea of having to niche down to this one little thing. And yes, it's beautiful to be able to talk about each separate one and all of those things, but there's space for all of us. And that's what I do, is help you take everything about yourself, all of your strengths, all of your past experiences, and create your own niche,
Mhm.
because you are your own niche. So let's pull
Mhm.
all that together, right? And pull it all in and share it. And so I do love
Yeah.
it. I love both of your writings. And this is, of course, not the first anthologies that you all have been in. And
Nope.
I was gonna save my share of my own chapter, but I think that I do want to share it today with you all being present. Is that okay? Is
Yes,
that
we would love that.
I was about to read yours, but go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead. You go ahead.
I was about to read yours. I'm like, where is Jenny's? What I think you are, where are you? After
I am
Barca? What
88, page 88, 88,
88.
89.
There was something in here that I really love about what you wrote.
And for me, like, and it was funny because I had not written in this particular way in a long time. And so when we very first started, and what I turned in, was just this really, really loose dump. It was just this really loose dump. And then it was like, okay, now give me the direction, right? Because I need to understand, my brain wants to understand exactly what it is, that you're looking for, and then I'll give it to you, whatever that is, but I have to understand. And so I know that at first read it was, holy crap, like we've got
I
work to
read
do.
yours, and Susanna
Yes,
was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "No, she changed it." Because even though Susanna is editing yours, I literally read everyone's, and I'm like,
yes,
"We need to
yes.
do this way. This, we have to orchestrate." This
So at
one
first I gave you a challenge. I gave you a
moved
challenge.
me. Oh, I know. Susanna can bring any challenge, so I'm like, yeah, that's why we're partnering in crime. It's on page 91 of the book, and it's actually the second paragraph. Okay, this one it says, "Foolishly, I had believed that I could keep them buried far below the surface of the naked eye. After all, no one really cared about the truth or knew how to process any of it. The lack of emotional processing had been the missing ingredient the entire time. Sue was the fourth paramedic to take her own life that year in our small community. I refused to share the full story and have her remembered as anything less than a hero, because that was the truth of her life." That paragraph shook me to my core. There's so much in there. If I take it apart, literally it says, I could keep them buried below the surface of the naked eye. We all walk around like that. We bury emotions, shame, everything. And then you're like, no one care about the truth. Yeah, you're right. People just want to be entertained. They don't want to know the truth. They ask you about the truth, but really they're not wanting to know the truth, because sometimes the truth hurts. So you just kind of put some sprinkles and glitter and sugar on that stale, sour things in your life, right? And then when you see this, and I cried when I read this one, the fourth paramedics who took her own life. Think about that. Think about that. People let go with their life because they feel not worth it. They feel so much pain that to end it all is better for them, and that's the way out. How many of us literally have friends or even ourselves feel like that?
Mhm.
That shook me to my core. And four, not one, not four in your community. I was like, I don't want to read anymore. I'm going to cry, keep crying, keep crying. And then I'm like, oh, but it's so good. I'm going to keep reading. And then you're literally your last sentence, gentlemen. I refuse to share the full story because you're trying to hide that truth. You don't want to taint what people see a facade of her reality. No one knows a real life. But you, even though you're so much in pain, even though you go through so much distress in your life and so much anxiety, at the end, you still want to preserve her memory to her friends, yet you're suffering inside. Like, mic drop, right? That's who you are. That made me see who you are as a person with that last sentence. When I read people's story, I literally make a story of my own in my head and make my judgment like, what kind of person is Jenny Lynn? When you wrote that, I was like, wow, she's definitely selfless. Like, I love that you, because we do, right? We do that for our friends. In fact, sometimes friendships, even though you don't like somebody else, you keep making excuses for them because you love them.
Yeah.
Right? We often do that to our loved ones, to our friends, to our kids, right? Because that's just who we are. But igniting the truth and being self-aware that you don't need to be in pain. It's okay to find support.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
One
Sorry, I
thing
took over.
I want to add to feedback on that is that, when CJ was reading and when she was analyzing, one thing also is that because they don't want to talk about it, because it's also painful for them to talk about their own pain, right? For them to look in their own mirror, reflecting back and saying, have I been this horrible person? I mean, we all have moments, right? We can't not say that. We have to learn. We have to kind of self-reflect and have time and saying, maybe I should use that word better, my words of choice, right? To help others, because the past is already done. But if you uncover the past and now you make it a bigger thing and blow out and shame on others, right? What would that do, right?
Nothing.
That is where the power of our words and our experiences is up to us. But if we live in it and we make it into a positive, you uplift others, your soul, your journey, your life will change because of our own perception and perspective, right? Of
Absolutely.
how we choose. And that's the lovely what CJ mentioned about Jen's story and how I see CJ when she mentioned about the ADHD. And I feel like, I haven't been formally diagnosed, but for all of us, we all have an ADHD moment, right? We all have things that we're doing. Because things that come up, arise, you spark a moment. Oh, I want to do that. I want to do this. But there's nothing wrong. Just remember and recall and collectively journal or put them down because
Yes.
it's meant for something. If you're aware of your thoughts that are giving you and what you're passionate about, that doesn't mean that you have to be only zoned into one thing. I know that when people think about you can only be niched down to one, but that's not who we are.
No.
You're not meant to be boxed in one thing and do one thing. You can be multi-dimensional. You can do other things. Why not?
Yeah.
Right? That's
Yeah.
what these beautiful ladies right here will also telling you. Move beyond that and the labels and boxes.
Yeah. Yes. Because the truth of the matter is that we do wear labels. We do wear masks. We do show different aspects of ourselves. This is the thing. We can do that consciously. We can do that mindfully. I get to choose, and I do choose the mask that I'm putting on every single day. And even within that mask, I choose the sides or the angles of the mask that it is that I want to, show or share or go deeper with. And we are so faceted, and the human experience is so rich. It's so rich. It really truly is inexplainable. And all we're ever really doing in any moment is experiencing some little piece of that, expressing that sharing that, having this recognition and mindfulness of that, and being able to say in any given moment, I think especially for, I think this is true for everyone. The experiences truly that you've been through have been to strengthen you, and they have been for you to be able to stop no matter where it is, whether you're in the middle of a boardroom, whether you're in the middle of a summit conversation with, two guests, and stop and say, I love you. I love you. I see you. I hear you. I have compassion for you. I want you to know how important you are to me. And I mean that to each and every single one of you here that's listening as well, because that is the ultimate gift that we have. That's the ultimate thing, that the ultimate ability that we have is to be able to take that and be that no matter where you are. If you are standing in line at this, at the soup kitchen as a recipient or as a server, if you're preparing the food, if you are writing books and sharing your stories to give other people a glance into somebody else's experience of the same thing that you have, if you're talking about the hard things, that's what it's all about. And for me, especially in my chapter, and this is true for all of us, suicide is the number one killer in this. It's the number one cause of death. You can bring cancer, heart attacks, heart disease, right, and car wrecks and all of these things in, and they all fit under the umbrella. And those are the hard decisions. When you talk and each people are inside their box and they're inside their niche, they talk about this group of doctors. This is the number one killer. This group of paramedics, firefighters, this is the number one killer. This group of this group of that. And really, the thing is that it is for all of us, and not just us as humans, not just us as grown-ups, but for children. Okay? Really hard stuff there, but it's true. I have ran on more children, the youngest being 5 years old, than I have adults. And you all know my personal experience, just the number even in that book, right? I know 4 adults just in one little small time span. Take care of yourselves and each other. Like, really, at the end of the day, that's what all of us are here. That's really, I think, the message of our hearts, period, is to care and take care of ourselves and take care of each other. Learn to love yourself. Learn to take care of yourself. Learn to listen to your needs and meet them so that you can know and listen and learn and hear the needs of others so that you can turn around and help others be able to do the same. And thank you, CJ, for sharing my piece of the chapter and for being here today. And thank you, Dr. New. Yeah, I'm going to.
No, I want to actually, before you end, hopefully you can give me the space. I am curious of what part of your chapter that you wanted to read. I want to know. Yeah. You can read it. I want to hear. Because I have a question.
Yeah. Go ahead. Okay. So, and I do want to say, just being time aware that if you all need to leave, of course you can, and you can catch the replay the last few minutes on YouTube or here on LinkedIn. And I do honor your time, but I'm also okay with being in the moment and going over. So the part of my story that I was going to read was this. With the click of my seatbelt, our eyes met for the first time since I had initially arrived. And where there had been the effects of drugs and adrenaline in hers before, there was now determination and a plan that did not include either one of us living out a full life. If I can't have you, no one can, she said. And it was the first cliche of a string that I would experience in the terrible events to follow.
Why did you choose that one?
Because it's a cliffhanger.
It makes me feel like just because I wanted drama.
Absolutely, it's a cliffhanger, and the deeper reason there is that it was a total moment of absolute reality of, we're always living in reality, but are we? Right? We are, but we're always living in a version of reality that we're painting for ourselves to be able to experience in the way that we need to experience it. And then we have moments of stark reality, black and white reality that come through in these times of absolution. And it was a moment of absolution of, this is black and white. I'm telling you on her part, right? I'm telling you exactly where I'm at, exactly what my thought processes are right now in this moment. And for me, it's recognizing exactly what is being said and realizing in that moment that I'm in a fight for my life, that I'm in a true fight for my life. And everything that comes in that moment, right? Time speeds up, but it also slows down. And in your mind, you're processing everything on this astronomical quantum level. You want to talk about quantum physics and quantum thinking and quantum mindfulness? Know that your life's in danger, right? And I know that the two of you can relate to that. And I know that others of you can relate to that in your own right, because we've all had those life-threatening moments in one way or the other. That really brings everything right to the surface for you. And so also to be able to live through those moments and process in the interim, which is why I love the process of reading this book and writing this book, is to be able to go back and also look at all of the things that you bring to the table, and all the things that we bring to the table through our experiences: resilience, determination, grit, grace, forgiveness, grief, love, right? Compassion, all of those things, and coming together and really being able to know and realize in a click, in a single click of a seatbelt, if that was the time that you had. Are you satisfied with your life? Are you happy with the legacy that you've left? Because ultimately, all we have is this now moment, and it can be, and it's constantly changed in the click, in a single click, right?
Thank you for sharing. I was curious. Curiosity kills CJ. That's what it is like.
No, I get it because I love it. Curiosity is the.
That's how I get my crap done. Curiosity. I'm like, what do you mean I can't do it? Watch me do it.
Right. I think that curiosity is a huge superpower. And for those of us that hang on to it, and for those of us that nurture it and that bring it into our lives mindfully and consciously on a daily process of why, how, what, all of those things. It's a beautiful, beautiful gift, and curiosity will lead you to everything else. It'll lead you to love. It'll lead you to understanding. It'll lead you to empathy. It'll lead you to joy. It'll lead you everywhere, anywhere, so many places. And if you really allow it to, It'll lead you to innovation, which is a place that you've never been before, a place where you've never been before, in this vastness that you can ask a billion questions and not only get answers, but create them. And that is a beautiful place to be. And I love it so much.
Thank you. Thank you for giving extra time. I really love it because I like to hear people. Some people ask me, why do you want to be a teacher? You're never going to be a millionaire. I said, I am a millionaire, not financially, but I am. I'm a billionaire. I'm a trillionaire. What are you talking about? I got good friends. Do you? Like, really, right?
Yeah.
My friends are amazing, and they teach me every single time. And my students are older than me. They're veterans. They teach me all the time. That's what I love about teaching, is not me teaching them, as me learning from them.
Oh.
Like, give me all those info. And I love it. I just wanted to share, I think my daughter's watching. This is for my youngest, Bella, for Mother's Day, and this is for my oldest, Angelina. So they know mommy hasn't grown up yet. So mommy hasn't grown up yet. I still have Hello Kitty. So that's from my youngest, and this is from my oldest. They're watching me too.
Yes. Well, hello, youngest and oldest.
I like to say, thank you, Jen and CJ, and all those who are listening to us, of course, to support us. And we see you and all. But for those who don't know us, know that you're worthy, you're loved, that you're enough, that you can do anything that your wish, your dreams, your heart desire. And just be mindful, all the feelings that whatever come through you and your experiences, cherish them and remember them. And how can you not only don't look for outside of you for answers, look within you, have reflections, because you have all the answer and all the tools within you. Be surrounded with amazing community like these and amazing humans like this. But you know who your tribe are, who really light you up, who really inspire and motivate you, who really resonate with you. Those are the people who will take you further higher.
Yes.
And I know sometimes we might be in blind spot and you don't see it, but know that you are wonderful just as who you are. You meant to bless other people, and your essence of just being present is a gift to us. So do not ever let anyone devalue you. Know that we love you, we appreciate you, and really we're here for you. So if you ever need it, reach out to any of these loving soul right here.
And the people are on the chat.
Yeah.
Or in the chat, right?
On the comments.
So shout out, to the Hounds of Business, the Level Up Academy, and really, truly blessed because of who you know and who you open your heart and soul. So love you all. I appreciate you all. Appreciate you. Love you, Jen, CJ.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And if anybody's not connected out there, get connected, right? And please don't feel that because you see us on a screen and you see our beaming, beautiful, gorgeous backgrounds and faces and all of those things, right? Don't feel as if that means, please don't feel like you can't reach out to any one of us, because you can. Don't let your own thoughts of, oh, I can't reach out to them, they're too busy, or I can't reach out to them, they're way too, over here or up here, and I'm over. No, we're all in this together, right? We're all in this together. So please do reach out. You can reach out to connect with any of us, and let us know if you want to in the chat. What is it that you're doing, and what areas do you need collaboration with in your own life and in your own business work? What balance is it that you're looking for? What harmony is it that you're trying to bring to the table for yourself? And let's all just come in and support one another, right? Thank you all so much for staying over. Thank you, CJ and Dr. New, of course, for coming today. Was really special, and I love both of you so much. And Susanna and Mr. Mingle and Queen
Crystal was here for a little bit too.
Well, yes.
Queen
Queen
Kayleen.
And yeah, I think that's all we can see. And Elizabeth, thank you so much for coming too. Oh, and yes, so tomorrow we'll see you also with some really great guests. And tomorrow, the NeuroGlamming Summit goes to the unicorns, and you don't want to miss tomorrow either. So we love you all so much. Have a great day.
Bye bye. Love you all.